Welcome to Must I Talk TV. Today, as you can see, I'm at work. I'm in my shop, yeah, in Hugh. On the line today, we've got a special guest. We've got our interviewer, Liza. She will be a special interviewer today, yeah. So, Donald, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And thank you very much for inviting myself as a part of the Forgotten Generation onto your Talk TV. Very much appreciate that.
All right, Liza, up to you now, please.
Thank you, Blacks. And it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Donald.
Yes.
I've been doing a lot of research, looking at the website of the Forgotten Generations that you've put together. And it is an absolute treasure trove of stories and audio material and photographic images of what you're referring to as Forgotten Generations. Started in June 21. Can you tell me what's inspired you and where this is going?
Right. Okay. Thank you very much for your very kind words about the website, and thank you for taking the time out to actually look at it. I was inspired to start the Forgotten Generations because of really what happened to myself as a youngster in the Caribbean, where my parents left me. My dad left me when I was 4, my mother when I was 7, and I didn't see them again until age 13 here in the UK. In that time, obviously, there's a big question mark as to what happened to me, being left with my godparents in this case, and to what happened to my parents in this country. So I thought, well, if that's happened to me, that must have happened to several other people from different parts of the British, African, and Caribbean countries. So I thought it'd be a good idea to actually have a visual recording of people telling their stories of what happened to them. So that's the initial outset of why I started Forgotten Generations.
Thank you, Donald. So June 21, there's some point that's happened closer to this time that suddenly spurred you into creating the website. What happened? I mean, I'm looking and I'm seeing images of 2 years worth, really, of parliamentary trips, events. There's been a service medal awarded, and there's clearly history coming into your current at this moment in time. What exactly has drove you into making it a reality as of 2021?
Right, okay. Basically, what's driven me to this point is that I'm ex-military, as in the Royal Air Force. I've been spending 36 years traveling around the world at Her Majesty's expense. It was just fantastic. Now, what I learned also is that there were a lot of people in front of me that I didn't know when I first joined, that they too had joined the military, World War I, World War II, and other conflicts. Now, I thought to myself, we've got to get the stories of these people. So very fortunately, I'd met a gentleman called Mr. Jarrett, a World War II veteran, aged 98, who I was hoping to join us today, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. But after meeting him 5 years ago, I started taking him around the country. And because I took him around the country and met Prime Minister and Defense Secretary, Prince William, etc., I thought I'd better document these things. So having documented a lot of these visits and events that I went to, I then thought I would use this as a part of my website. Hence, you see so many different pictures, etc., etc., etc.
So what is so special about this Mr. Jarrett? So now that he's not present with us, I'm even more curious to get to meet him. Now, I'm aware that he is a 97-year-old man.
98, sorry, 98.
98, right, okay. He's had a birthday recently, and
yeah.
he is a World War II veteran like yourself.
Yes.
He's clearly still very active alongside you and in his own personal life with his beautiful wife and a lot of personal pursuits. But what is it about him? I mean, is he a figure that we should all know a lot more about?
Yeah, there's a lot about him in the sense that we are all of different ages, from 1 to however old we are, and we all have different abilities, strength in terms of mental and physical. And Mr. Jarrett at 98 is a real example of someone who's actually had a very, very good life and still having a good life. So when I first met him 5 years ago, I was delighted to meet him because I always wanted to meet a person or people of World War II status, male or female. And I met him at a Windrush event. And then I spoke to him a couple of days later, and he said to me, I don't know why I'm still around, because I'm only one of few friends that I had that's left. And I said to him that you're still around because you've got a story to tell. So I started then to learn about his life and what he'd done and his family, etc., etc., etc. And then I found out how very good he is in terms of being interviewed, speaking to the media, when you take him out into the community, how very, very well connected to people he is. And, you know, people love him. And when I say people, I'm talking women love him and he loves women. So that's always a good combination. Sorry. So
I've heard tell of this man's charm.
Pardon?
I said I've heard tell of this man's charm.
Absolutely, he's got it in abundance. So that's with the reality of him being able to actually tell people of his life and what happened during the war, after the war, and bringing up a family here in the UK. Putting that together is very much a marketable individual.
Thank you. This sounds like we definitely need some Mr. Jarrett in our lives. And that energy and drive and adventure and social ability that he clearly has is something that can enhance anybody's way of operating in their day-to-day affairs. Role models like this are role models that we should look to and aspire with. So we have some kind of a marker that we can improve our own lives with, you know. So I understand that there is an event that's going to be taking place next week, quite a big event. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that, Donald?
Well, yes, I believe you're referring to him being a baton bearer at the Commonwealth Games.
Yes, I am.
That is on the 26th of July.
Was the baton in Jamaica this week?
No, it's back in UK.
Back in the UK now?
Yeah, yes, it's in UK, and it's going around in UK, and it's coming into the Midlands, if it hasn't reached it already, and then it will be in Birmingham itself. And I have got the actual details of where, when, what time that he will be carrying this baton. And because of I'm his chaperone, I will be by his side, helping him to carry the baton. So it's just fantastic that he has been chosen at age 98, and is the second oldest baton bearer out of the thousands of baton bearers. So that's quite something as well. And if I'm not mistaken, might well be the oldest veteran in terms of military. So it's all a plus. And he's Caribbean, you know, and he's just outstanding when you look at the Commonwealth, the whole of the Commonwealth, to have somebody like that representing the Commonwealth, and at his age 98. Well, we've got a lot to shout about, really.
Definitely.
We have. Back over to you, Blacks. I mean, I can't wait to see this event and to hear more about the days and the times And also, we should mention about the ability to donate or subscribe to the Forgotten Generations website. So not to miss that off there, but we do have that facility available to us as well, don't we? So we can have a long-term commitment and membership with the incredible work that you're doing.
There's one more thing that's important today. We need to start the hashtag Mr Jarrett campaign. So we'd just like the all the viewers just to join in on the campaign, get the hashtag Mr Jarrett going, because we want to try and get him, you know, what he deserves.
Yes, indeed. We've got a hashtag going as well, saying March on Mr Jarrett.
March on Mr Jarrett.
Yes.
Yeah. With the Jamaican flag. So
yeah.
we all need to show the support. Share, like, share, and subscribe as well, so people pass the news on. So that's what we want. So we get Mr Jarrett, you know, at least that recognition that he deserved for the hard work and the sacrifice he made for all of us to be here today talking, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if people can actually go and wave a Jamaican flag in support of them and say March on Mr Jarrett, and put it on their Instagram, then that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Hashtag,
hashtag March on Mr
March
Jarrett.
on Mr Jarrett. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And also the Forgotten Generations, which is the ForgottenGenerations.com website, the Forgotten Generations with an S.com website. People can go on there and see so much more information about Mr. Jarrett himself and about the whole ethos of the Forgotten Generation and what it's about. Because it has got a wider perspective. It's looking at everyone's life in terms of under the heading of British, African and Caribbean people, telling their life stories and their achievement. And this is all to tell people that we have achieved a lot, and we are still achieving, and we will achieve a lot going forward. What's happening is that we've been forgotten, and we want to make sure that we raise the profile of our people, and tell people that we are here to stay, and we're much capable than the thinking that people's got about us. And this is a message to our younger generation, especially for those who are a little bit lost, to say that there are role models out there. Mr. Jarrett, the likes of yourselves, and everyone else that are doing so much good in the community as an example for them to follow.
Thank you, Dana. Yeah. So, Liza, is there anything else you'd like to add to the conversation?
Well, I've written down the hashtag. So hashtag March on Mr. Jarrett. That's going to be going on my Insta, along with waving a Jamaican flag and doing a video. So hopefully other people are going to join us with this, and let's get that energy moving. And we've got a modern day West Indian Mr. Tom
Moore.
What's his name?
Tom Moore.
Chap who did the
Tom Moore.
Tom Moore,
Yes.
Sorry, my name. Tom Moore. For the West Indian community. So let's get that energy going and accomplish exactly the same as he did. So join us.
That would be fantastic. And I'm going to say to Blacks that his effort in what he's doing with the is it Must Talk TV?
Must Side Talk TV.
Must Side Talk TV. I just think it's a wonderful initiative. And I just hope that it will grow to the extent where we have a network. It becomes a global network where you can reach all the people.
Definitely.
Beyond Moss Side, beyond Birmingham, beyond London, beyond UK, an international place where we can reach everybody by plugging into what you're doing.
So that Daniel, a quick word. I understand that Mr. Jarrett has been to Moss Side before. Could you tell us a story about
Yes, there's several stories to be told about Mr. Jarrett, and this one is when he was quite a young lad. He was, like you say, he's a bit of a ladies' man, and he still is actually. And back in the day when he was in his teenage years, he met a young lady, and he actually followed her to Manchester, and spent much of the time in Manchester when he shouldn't be there, if you know what I mean. So he was eventually.
Sounds like a true Jamaican to me,
What can I say? What can I say? So it brings back a lot of memories, and he used to just jump in his car and head to Manchester at a whim. Yeah. And so Manchester has a bit of a place in his heart from way back in time.
Oh.
Yeah. So wow. Yeah, that's a good story, because
sounds like as good a reason as any to come to Manchester for the beautiful ladies.
Yeah.
What can I say? Yeah, I totally believe that. So he's very much a traveled person as well. He's as of recent time in his 90s, he's been all around. We've been back to Manchester a few times as well.
Yes.
And for different reasons this time. But he is still traveling around, and he as a part of the Forgotten Generations. Yes. I know it's only been in set up a year ago, but the government saw it and saw what we're trying to do, and myself and Mr Jarrett were invited to number 10 Downing Street in June, and to the Queen's Jubilee big lunch. Yeah. And to our surprise, we were given an award as well for our work in the community because of the Forgotten Generations.
Yes.
The Points of Light Award, nonetheless.
Points of Light Award. It was a big surprise, and I'm telling you, I'm so proud that I had Mr. Jarrett next to me at his age. It's a shining example to the younger generations to say, carry on doing what you're doing. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can still achieve. Fantastic. So he's very much our Mr. Tom Moore, Mr. Jarrett, and we want the world to know. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We're also looking for anybody who wants to support us on the day when he carries the baton, and be it on the 26th of July here in Birmingham, and they can contact myself for more finer information if they want to go and support at the start or finish point.
Well, could you say it now? Where roughly is the meeting going to be taking place? Is
right.
going to be passed?
Yeah, so it's going to be in Castle Vale in Birmingham on the 26th of July from about 8:30 onwards, Castle Vale. And there is an actual address that people can actually go to for that.
We can share that with the video, can't we, Blacks?
Yes. Yeah, we can share that. I can give you that specific information as to the street where he's going to be. Well, we are going to be there because I will be there with him. So we'd love the support of Manchester, not just the ladies, of course, but male and female. And then we just carry and just press the music button and sing March On, Mr. Jarrett, March On. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Also, I'd like to say that the Forgotten Generation is very much there for everyone. So we would like the support of everyone. Go on the website, and then any page you can become a member. Free membership by clicking Become a Member. Yeah. Just your name and an email address, and you become a member, just like that. Yeah. The reason for that is that the Forgotten Generation needs to take the whole of our people with us forward, and becoming a member is going to help that to happen. And also gives you the opportunity to be updated on what the Forgotten Generation is doing, because every month I send out an update to all the members on what's happening. So please go on the ForgottenGenerations.com website and become a member, and I'll update you every month as to what's happening. Okay.
Thank you. That's great. Well, I think that's a wrap. What do you think, Blacks?
That's great. We just need to make sure we get that hashtag carry on Mr. Jarrett, and get that.
March on
Mr. Jarrett.
March on Mr. Jarrett.
March on Mr. Jarrett. Yeah. So everyone hashtag March on Mr. Jarrett. yeah, with the Jamaican flag. Yeah. So
Instagram page, yeah.
Instagram.
And you don't have to be Jamaican to wave the flag, do you?
No.
You know, that's
it's about everybody.
It's
exactly.
about everybody. I've had the Lord Mayor of Birmingham and the Sandwell and everybody waving the flag already. The High Commissioner of Jamaica, anybody. It's just
Everybody waving the flag.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
It's been a real pleasure talking with you both. Thank you so much for your
Likewise.
time, Donald.
Likewise, Liza.
See you again, Blacks.
You Blacks.
All right, see you again, Liza.
Okay.
Well done. Yeah,
Thanks,
have a good
folks.
day, Donald. Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All hail our unsung heroes, the ones who protect our airspaces, our borders, and our privilege to live. Raise the torches, pass on the baton. Our veterans must never be forgotten. March on, come on. Mr. Jarrett is a true champion. Raise the torches, pass on the baton. Our veterans must never be forgotten. March on, come on. Mr. Jarrett is a true champion. Applaud him, applaud him, applaud him. Award him, award him, award him. Fought brave on the battlefield of him. Our veteran is he, honor him. Let's do this now on your mark, get set. Never forget, never forget. Living legend is honorable Sir Jarrett. A true pioneer, high standard set. Raise the torches, pass on the baton. Our veterans must never be forgotten. March on, come on. Mr. Jarrett is a true champion. Raise the torches, pass on the baton. Our veterans must never be forgotten. March on, come on. Mr. Jarrett is a true champion. One more applause for the faithful and true. To reach the centenary, we only need two. And Mr. Jarrett fought in World War II. Many were called, but the chosen is you. Cha-la-la-la-la, salute you, sir. Cha-la-la-la-la, celebrate you, sir. Cha-la-la-la-la, appreciate you, sir. We are because you were. Raise the torches, pass on the baton. Our veterans must never be forgotten. March on, come on. Mr. Jarrett is a true champion. Raise the torches, pass on the baton. Our veterans must never be forgotten. March on, come on. Mr. Jarrett is a true champion. Recognize Mr. Jarrett like Bolton Marley. Give him the honors like a Marcus Garvey. This man fought for justice and equality. At the people champion, man of the century. A 18-year-old boy from Jamaica. Sharp shooter, little but in Talawa. Because of you, so many inspire. Mr. Jarrett, you are a legend. Albert Jarrett, age 98. And Donald Campbell from Birmingham are RAF veterans who founded the Forgotten Generation, a charitable archive and resource highlighting contributions by British, African and Caribbean people to the UK and armed forces. Big up Mr. Jarrett.
Hi, my name is Professor Erin Mabel. I'm a Mosside counsellor here in Mosside, Manchester. And what I'd like to say, also as a Deputy Lieutenant for the County of Greater Manchester, is march on, Mr Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr Jarrett, march on. Enjoy if you can, it's great. Thank you.
March on, Mr Jarrett. March on, Mr Jarrett. March on, Mr Jarrett.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
One and cheese.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. Butter and cheese.
March on, Mr. Jarrett.
We socialise together.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. Yes.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. Right. Wave that Jamaican flag.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on. Love and blessings.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, man. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. Go there, boy. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. Hey!
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on.
Perfect.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on.
Try and sit with the crowd in it. Come on. Aye, come on.
March on.
I look for that. Pick up MGTY in it.
Keep it going, Mr. Jarrett, march on. Keep it rolling, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, 98 years of age, you nearly reached 100. So keep marching for the whole of the generation we're following you. Stay blessed.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on, Mr. Jarrett.
March on, Mr. Jarrett.
March on, Mr. Jarrett.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on. Well done, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. Oh. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. You can do this.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on, Mr. Jarrett.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. You love that one.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
Mr. Jarrett, march on. Woo, woo, woo. Mr. Jarrett, be strong. Woo, woo, Lord. Mr. Jarrett, Mr. Jarrett, Mr. Jarrett. Yeah, yeah. Large up yourself, never small up yourself. We love you. Mwah.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. Hey, hey, march on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. Hey, hey, march on, Mr.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. One love, blessings.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. Is that all right? March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
What do you have to say, Jen?
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, you can call it march on.
Yes, yes. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. Big things are going. Commonwealth Games, Birmingham 2022. March on, Mr. Jarrett.
Mr. Jarrett, march on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. 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 March on, Mr. Jarrett.
March on, Mr. Jarrett.
March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. Say, march on, Mr. Jarrett. Ah.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. Remember the flag now. Keep going. You're old, but keep...
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on. March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on. March on, Mr. Jarrett. March on.
March on, Mr. Jarrett, march on.